All right, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe. Hopefully, you can hear me out there. It is time for another GhostCultMag.com weekly ritual, your rock and metal news source every week on the web. I am super stoked to be back at an unusual day and time. This is your show, as I always like to say. Normally, this show is on Thursday or Friday. Today, it is on overnight Thursday evening, late Wednesday, overnight Thursday, because I'm getting married this week. I'm getting married on Friday, so I'm trying to fit my show in when I can. Um, Much to my own chagrin. Hopefully, after this week, I'll be able to come on. Hey, Gabe, what up, brother? After this week, I hope to be able to get back to like a regular time, additional live streams every week, bring back our newsletters, work on membership stuff. So yeah, let me just grab a sip of my liquid death. It's pretty hot here in California. Cheers, everybody. And I've been having a lot of problems with my camera and my microphone. So hopefully these things hold up for the entire show. I can't be sure. I can't be sure. Thanks for being here, Gabe. Thanks for being here, everybody watching. If you're tuning in, hey, Levi, what up? If you're watching this after on a replay or a podcast, please like and subscribe. But yeah, here's a little deck I always prepare. GG fan is here, and Bass Low and Bad Kitty Bites. All the people on TikTok, Caddy or Katie, can't tell. Here's a little. Let's see if this thing works. Boom, boom. Hey, come on. All right, and then that one. Yeah, no, it's just not going to cooperate today. I might just finally. I like StreamYard a lot. I might just finally go over to something else. Let's see if it works over here. Nope, not going to work there. Not going to work there. Well, I checked everything out before the stream. Maybe I'll remove it and bring it back. Remove from the studio. Maybe it's just corrupted and shitty. Let's try it one more time. How's everybody doing out there? It has been a very busy and crazy week of rock and metal. Here's the departments of the show. I do love sharing that with you all. Here's the intro. You're watching it. Then we're going to do some announcements and some metal history this week in metal history. That's what I like doing. Followed by the news rundown with some features and interviews and special things we've done here. And then the news rundown continues with heavy metal festivals, and then concerts, tours, and one-offs. And then the major news of the week, we crown an asshole of the week. And then we do the New Music Friday rundown, all the new records coming out this week you need to pick up, spin, buy, stream, whatever. Support. And then close it out with some merch. I have a box from the Metalhead box, my last box from the Metalhead box that I got from my Christmas subscription. So yeah. All right, let's see if the new thing works better than the old thing. So far, don't know. Okay. Try one last time. Something, nothing. This is something. This is nothing. Okay. No biggie. I might just go with the deck the whole show. Let's find out. Anyway, let's do it. Everybody but TikTok can see this as fun cover this week of The Crows with me. And if I need to get on camera to do my unboxing or whatever, I'll just go solo. Thanks for watching. We always start with the announcements, and there's always some hard ones to start with. But this is great news. I'm getting married on Friday after 16 months to my fiance, Melissa. Her best friend, Melissa, is also named Melissa, and her mom, Louise, came into town tonight. My best friend, Curtis, is coming into town tomorrow. Tonight, we went out to dinner, to a little fancy Little Bites and Drinks. I had a nice beer. I had a lot of laughs. My wedding's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to do this next chapter in my life with the love of my life and my partner, Melissa. She's probably asleep because she's smarter than me for sure. Thanks for watching on Facebook, Anton Vincent, and everybody who's tuning in on the YouTube and the Gram and the good old TikTok. If you're new here and you like what you see and you're here for rock and metal content, subscribe, and I will follow back. I just realized I'm matching. I'm wearing like my suicidal shirt and my suicidal hat. That was completely unintentional. Hey, Q is here. What's up? Good to see you. Love you. So yeah, getting married on Friday afternoon at my future in-laws' house, followed by a little party. And then Saturday, we're going to do another party gathering again at that house. So I'm excited. Hopefully next week we'll get back to a regular schedule of everything. Thanks for everybody liking the live and supporting us. Tom Mitz, McKinn, Broccoli, Iska, Beyond the Portal. If anybody's interested in helping out my wedding fund, I'm selling these awesome Slayer DC shoes on my eBay. I thought about I needed to moving in together. What we learned, we have like 10 million concert shirts. I have a huge amount of Funkos and obviously my record collection and a bunch of CDs and stuff bands send me for free. More to Scold, one of my favorite bands of all time. So I thought I'd be purging some stuff, and for whatever reason, these DC shoes are just too tight on me. They just cut very slender, and I have a wide, like an E size foot. So if anybody wants to buy these limited edition Slayer DC shoes, check out my eBay. If you want and you ask, I will put the link in the comments. Okay. Also, we got to 2 million views on YouTube. I know that there's a lot of websites and social medias and podcasters and influencers and stuff vying for your attention, and you're giving it to us. We got 2 million views in our lifetime on YouTube. I know some people get millions of views on each video, but we have 2 million views lifetime, and I'm really proud of this. This was built from the ground up with my partner, Omar Cordy, all the people who've ever been interviewed, like Gabe, everybody who's done an interview for us, all the other content we've shared and posted. I'm really appreciative. Looks like we got a lot of people watching here on TikTok. Appreciate you all. Feel free to give us a follow or subscribe or hearts or diamonds or whatever it is, or buy us a super chat or a super thanks. To you, if you can spare it, these are tough times. We're still bringing awareness to the GoFundMe for Shaun Glass's family. Shaun Glass passed away a couple of weeks ago. That GoFundMe is still going. Jennifer Finch of L7 has brain cancer. She's already had a bunch of surgeries, apparently, several. She's a fighter. It's not great news. They have already raised $200,000 in a few days for her, but the cost, thank you, Landon. I appreciate all the likes and support. Isaac, what up? Benjamin, what up? All the support has been great to see, but, you hate to see a punk rock icon. I love L7. I've been fortunate to see them twice in the last 3 years on their reunion tour. She will obviously not be touring with them anymore, or at least for the time being. But best of luck, Jennifer. What a terrible bunch of news. Eugene Robinson of Oxbow, formerly of Oxbow and currently of the band Boonwell, as well as a journalist and writer. He had a stroke. He's living currently in Spain, so he's in a hospital in Spain. Apparently he's recovering and hanging in there. I know Jello Biafra had a stroke earlier in the year. Eugene is a physical specimen. He's written books about mixed martial arts and fighting and karate and stuff and Kempo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So you don't think about a person who's incredibly physically fit as a potential stroke victim, but it's possible everybody can get one. So best of luck, Eugene. Oxbow really, turned me on to a lot of extreme and underground music that I probably would never have heard if it wasn't for his music. Also, Mary Morello. Tom Morello's mom passed away at 102. I know 102 is a very long life at this point here. She was an activist. She, helped inform his politics and his intelligence. She was a political activist most of her life. She wasn't just some funny old lady that came on and was like, Rage Against the fucking Machine is here. She was a real powerhouse person in terms of labor organizing and things like that, protesting. Really important lady. Also, this one really hurts. Dave Kimball, who was the founder of Alternative Nation and 120 Minutes, on MTV passed away at 68 years old this week. He was eulogized on social media by Matt Pinfield, former co-host or host of Alternative Nation and 120 Minutes. He really programmed the alternative rock boom at MTV. So like he's no small, fry over there at MTV. I know MTV did a lot of not music stuff for a long time, but he was really truly influential. Truly influential. So really important. Also co-founding Morbid Angel drummer and also of the death metal band Incubus, not the other Incubus, and also Nocturnus. Mike Browning passed away. A bunch of people, this guy was like a foundational drummer in death metal, early death metal. He left the band before they recorded Altars of Madness, but his music was definitely on the first few Morbid Angel demos and albums. And he was all around well-liked. So really sad. This is the 4th anniversary of Biohazard co-founder Anthony Mayo's passing. Mio, sorry if I said that wrong. Big Biohazard fan from New York City. Actually, when I grabbed this orange Suicidal shirt, I really look like an ad for Suicidal's website right now. I thought I was picking up my Biohazard shirt. It's kind of funny. But anyway, Chester Bennington sadly passed away this week in rock history in a couple of days. This is actually a photo I took of him at the Food Truck and Rock Carnival in 2016 when he was fronting Stone Temple Pilots. And I will tell you, he put on an incredible show. He's wearing kind of like a white outfit as a tribute to Weiland, who was his hero. All right, what else? Rick Emmett of Triumph celebrated a birthday. This is a great Photoshop by my friend Ken Pierce of Piercing Metal. Go give them a follow. Great photo of Rick. They just wrapped up a hugely successful North American tour, which I think is rad. What's up, Joffrey? Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. All right, let's see. Genevieve and Lebanese Mafia. Metal Forever Mark. What's up, Perla? What do you call it? Jean-Pierre from Gojira, the bassist, celebrated a birthday this week. I forgot his name for a second. I bleeped out. I'm getting tired. Also celebrating birthdays this week. System of a Down is currently on tour in Europe. Drummer John Domoyan and Darren Malakian. He kind of looks like a lowercase L right here. I don't know why he looks like this. Or he's doing like the Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal bend, like the floor thing. I don't know. Lean. More about Darren later. Marky Ramone celebrates a birthday this week. Chi Cheng of Deftones would have celebrated a birthday. Would have been 52 this week. Very sad. Brian May celebrates a birthday this week. Here's a lovely photo of him with Tony Iommi. They're buddies. I think it's cute that they text each other and stuff. Geezer Butler celebrates a birthday this weekend on my wedding day. Also, Frederick Atkinson of Opeth. Great shot here by Ragin' Rosie, former Ghost Cultist. Chris Cornell, of course, would have celebrated a birthday this week. I am pleased there is some Soundgarden news coming. Kim Thiel, in his book that I'm in the middle of right now, finishing, says that they are working on the final Soundgarden record. Should get released in 2027 now that they have an agreement with Chris's second wife. So that's really rad news. Tom G. Warrior celebrates a birthday, him best from Celtic Frost, but also Triptychon, also Triumph, Death, and Hellhammer. Live Aid was 41 years ago this week. Wembley Stadium and JFK. Until Back to the Beginning last year, this was the biggest charity concert of all time. I think the money didn't actually get to who it needed to get to, but if you're old like me and you remember watching this on TV live, maybe even recording it, let me know. Let me know who you remember. Obviously, Queen is best remembered as kind of coming in as the last-minute headliner and stealing the show after being kind of, back together following a breakup. A few record anniversaries this weekend. Violence Oppressing the Masses celebrates 37 years. Phenomenal. And Motley Crue's new tattoo, not phenomenal, but still had an anniversary. Jizzy Geo. What's up, Jizzy Geo? All right, that is the first part of the show. If you're feeling tipsy, feel free to give us a tip. Tips are open. Like I said, I'm trying to sell these DC shoes. I have some musical equipment I might sell. I have some collector's items I might part with just because I need to just pare down my collection. I just have too much stuff. All right. Anyway, here's the tips. You can tip us. We appreciate it. And now a little bit more minutiae. There's our Cash App. Time for some features here at Ghost Cult. Once again, we hit our 1,000th podcast ever last weekend. I'm super proud of this. 13 years, 2 million views on YouTube, 1,000 podcast episodes. No small feat. We've been around a long time. And more to come. My 1,000th interview was a bucket list one for me, talking to Dead Guy, the great hardcore noise rock metal band. Recent new interviews. I talked to Thomas of Monolord. Their new album, Neverending, is out now on Relapse Records. They worked with Sylvia Massey, who's produced Tool and Marilyn Manson and System of a Down. Great fucking album, great band, great dude. Also talked to the band Irata from North Carolina. Irata is a great psychedelic rock band. I managed to talk to all three of them. And, 1,000, man. I know. I got to give a lot of credit to Omar Cordy, my partner. He really pumped us up the last few years on these podcasts. But, it's being consistent. But Irata, great band, new album, Human, out now. Go check them out. Also, in recent interviews I had, Paul Leary of Butthole Servers, another bucket list type interview for me. Dawn of the Dead of Nunslaughter was interviewed by our own Will Safer. I interviewed David Haley of Psychroptic, the great tech death band. Their new album's out this week. And my other podcast, Glacially Musical, is back this week after we had kind of a 3 weeks of weirdness where we did kind of some chaser episodes. We are back talking about Deicide tomorrow, Once Upon the Cross. This will be out on Friday. Check it out. More fun covers are coming soon. We might do some merch finally for Glacially Musical. And again, just so people know, since the pandemic, every week when we run our new interviews on YouTube and our podcast, we give a shout out to underground bands, DIY labels, music stores, merch companies, anybody doing some good work out there that we can help in the underground. So DM us, check out our linktree to find out how to get your band named in one of our shout outs in our video interviews. Now it's time for the news rundown. And as usual, for the news rundown, I talk about metal festivals. We'll do it real quick this week since there's not a lot of new ground to cover. This weekend is an Incarceration Festival, Disturbed, Bad Omens, and Limp Bizkit at the Ohio State Reformatory, aka the prison from Shawshank Redemption. One of these years I'll go to this thing, although, again, Ohio in the summertime doesn't seem like a fun thing for me, but it looks like a killer lineup, and also Tattoo Festival. Okay, moving on. Again, Horde's X Festival, which is programmed and managed by our own Paul McMillan of Ghost Cult, who does a lot of our European news, has added a bunch of new bands. This is Scotland's oldest metal festival, September 18th and 19th in Dundee, Scotland. Fantastic. Someday I will go there. Oh, did that already? Oh, I may be going the wrong way. Sorry. Okay, Great South Bay Festival is next weekend. Again, I thought this was a very bizarre festival to use. Sublime, Government Mule, Bruce Hornsby, My Morning Jacket, Bayside, Koyo. Vakken is coming very soon. Vakken, Open Air, Def Leppard, Sabaton, Powerwolf, Priest. Incredible. Bloodstock is fast approaching. We've already been confirmed, so Ghost Cult will be covering the probably like our 14th out of 15 years coming up soon. Also, Riot Fest is coming up in September, hoping to cover this again. Also, RPM Fest. One of these years, I'll make it out to Western Massachusetts. Monolord, High on Fire, Chemists, Whores, Dwarves, Dope Throne, Acid Wish, Squid Pisser, Void. A lot of killer bands. That was all the festival news. Let's talk about some. Hey, Vicky Carringer. Good to see you. Mike, Jimmy, Skeptical One. We'll talk about some metal concerts and things in a second. Lots of birthdays, man. Lots. Thank you so much, Joffrey. I appreciate you for watching. All right. Voted #1 film of all time by IMDb. Oh, which one is that? Is it The Godfather? It might be. All right, tour dates this week. Homies in King Parrot are kicking off a New Zealand tour. They're Australian, so that's the closest place for them to go travel beside home cities. And then they follow it up later this year with some more tour dates of the UK and Europe. Hopefully get them back here in the States eventually soon. Shadows Fall is playing a 30 Years of Shadows Fall show in Springfield, Mass. on Saturday. Absolutely kill Shadows Fall Day. I believe Springfield is going to give them like the key to the city. That's kind of fun. Hatebreed is on tour right now with the summer. Oh, Shawshank, of course. Hatebreed is, and then Andy crawled through 30 miles of Hatebreed. In Devourment, Incantation, and a bunch of other bands are on the Summer Slaughter tour. Next week is the Apology Tour show by Transformers, the movie, Knights of Unicron. New album coming soon. Hope to get one. Cold Slither and Gem and the Holograms also playing at House of Blues San Diego during Comic-Con next Thursday. Tomahawk and Melvins kick off their U.S. tour. Most of this tour is now sold out. Kicking off Saturday night in Nashville. Killer. Also, Ricky Rackman continues his One Foot in the Gutter tour. Saturday night, he's got a day off. Hollywood tonight, day off tomorrow. Danville, California, Saturday, all the way through to the end of July, back to Kansas City. So this is huge. Soulfly, Nailbomb, and Insight. So Nailbomb did a whole last summer European tour, and I know people are like, well, no Alex Newport, no Nailbomb, but he is just choosing to not come back anymore and tour. He's retired, and he's a very successful and lucrative producer. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that last date of the tour is in Tempe, Arizona at the Marquee. I would not be surprised if that is another Max Cavalera Dynasty show with all of Max's family and bands and some other bands. Stay tuned. That's just my hunch. But what a great looking tour this is. And we're big Insight fans. I just saw them. Sun has announced a tour to support their new self-titled album out on Sub Pop Records. You heard me right, Sub Pop Records. They announced a big tour, so that's kind of exciting for October. Neurosis has been added. They were teasing last week, sign up for a new mailing list. We're going to announce some more shows. So as Acid Bath continues to kind of like build out this huge multi-year tour, they have added Neurosis to 4 of their shows as an opening band, and I'm sure there'll be more. Yeah, love Soulfly, bro. I love Max. Max loves Ghost Cult, and we love Max and Gloria and Richie and Igor and other Igor, the nephew, and so, just everything cool. But Neurosis is going to be playing some more shows. Just got my Neurosis LP in the mail. Maybe my album of the year. I'm not sure. It's close. I've been hearing rumors. This is unsubstantiated, but Rammstein just concluded. They've been on kind of a hiatus while Till Lindemann has been touring with a solo band, put out another record, and he just held his own Till Fest. And I have a good, let's say we'll call it a good rumor that Rammstein will be touring the U.S. next summer, maybe festivals, maybe their own stadium tour as kind of a farewell tour, perhaps with a new album. So I think we're going to start hearing rumblings about this at the end of summer. And that is all the concerts and festivals and one-offs and things. And now for the regular news, I'm going to just whip through this. But really quick, a couple of words from our affiliates and sponsors. Fable Beard. If you want to hook your beard up like me, I'm looking and smelling my best ever. in my whole adult life because of Fable Beard. If you sign up at the link in our link tree in our description, you get $10 off and we get free Fable Beard merch. So help us out, help yourself out. Great sense. It's all natural. It's organic. They have a femme brand called Fable Beauty. It's really smart. And all the characters, they have like a character for every smell. It's based on like Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're a fucking nerd and a metal fan and a Viking and a beardo and a weirdo, go check out Fable Beard. We don't really recommend anything we don't use or make use of. So I want you all to know how much Fable Beard rules. We are part of the Lambgoat Media Network. If you see ads on our website, that's from Lambgoat. The much meaner version of Ghost Cult, as I like saying. Other brands in the Lambgoat portfolio include No Echo, This Day in Metal, I think New Metal Agenda, Metal Insider, and a couple more. Melodic Magazine. And also shout out to my homie Craig Caruso of Caruso Apps. Hey, Shane, what's up? All you wanted was a Pepsi. That's right, Shane. All I wanted was a Pepsi, too. They should have just gave him one, you know? They should have listened. Just saw Suicidal about a month and a half ago with their new lineup. They were fucking killer. And once again, if you're watching this everywhere but TikTok, you're watching this through the magic of StreamYard. I got to really spend some time after the wedding with my gear and really get my gear up and running correctly. I'm missing some lights. I'm missing some stuff. So I'm doing my best here, folks. All right. Now it is time for the rest of the show. Let's do it. Ozzy Osbourne is outside of pop stars, is only the second artist in rock and metal for sure to have 1 billion streams on Spotify for a song. Black Sabbath was first in 2024 with Paranoid, and now Crazy Train, right on the eve of the anniversary of Ozzy's passing, is now a 1 billion stream song, which is just absolutely killer. I'm really happy about this, and I'm proud as a fan. Queens of the Stone Age dropped a new song and a video this week. I believe we're going to get a new album next year from them, but it was really cool to get this new song. You know, what a good time. I love Josh. He's had some struggles, and I don't know if you've heard it. It's a little chilled out. It's got some fans a little scared that the next record might be kind of, a weird left curve and not so heavy, but Easy Street featuring country singer Nikki Lane is the track, and I loved it. And I love the video. It's just twisted. This is major news, man. If you have a band or you're interested in stuff, DistroKid was sold to a private equity firm. So now all the independent methods of getting your music heard as a DIY artist are now owned by huge companies, huge private equity. This is bad. This is totally bad. They don't have artist interests in heart. They just care about money. So this is not good. These things were created to give independent artists an opportunity to overcome the barriers to success. And I think it's going to create more barriers. Not a great story to report, I have to be honest. Iron Maiden, speaking of money, has sold half of their stake and their rights and the rights to Eddie to Pop House. Pop House is the company that bought Kiss's rights. You know that this is a thing. Legacy bands are kind of cashing out. They sell their future rights to other people, companies to manage them, put out reissues, use their likeness, this, that, the other thing. On one hand, it might be cool, but Pop House's track record is not great. And what they've done with Kiss, I don't love. So I know Iron Maiden is getting to the end. They just did their Ed Fest last weekend. It's probably going to be an annual thing in England. Might have to go. But yeah, it's just a lot to process that maybe our heroes, these bands are maybe a few more years left. Iron Maiden, Metallica, maybe even Slipknot probably only have a few more years of this. But, I don't know, man. I mean, they're not going to get rid of Eddie, but it's just I love to see more Eddie games and comic books and things, but also if you look at what they've done with Kiss so far, I don't love it. Mastodon announced their new album, Marrow Deep, and released a new single, Dinner with Snakes, featuring Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age. They announced that their new guitar player and keyboard player are permanent members of the band. That's pretty cool. Love the album. I already kind of made a pitch to interview the band and maybe get a record sent to me. But you know, Mastodon is a must and always buy for me. I love this band. I have all their records on vinyl, and I'm just a huge fan. Phone is doing something weird. Come on, phone. Here we go. All right, cool. Back. I'm back now. Sorry, everybody. All right. Sorry, everybody. Anthrax dropped another new single, Edge of Perfection. Oh my God. Sick video. Really evil. Tremendous song like black metal Anthrax. You know, Anthrax has always had some extreme metal influences. You know, 90s, they were doing the groove metal thing with John Bush and kind of went back to thrash and hard rock in the 2000s. And then, like, honestly, since Joey came back in, and you know, if you don't like Joey's voice, I don't know what I can do for you. I love John and Joey equally, but yeah, man, like worship music for all kings, and now this new record, Cursium Perfecto, is going to be insane, insanely good. Comes out on my birthday. I'm excited. Speaking of Anthrax, they have teamed up with Z2 Comics to do a retrospective illustrated oral history of Anthrax. I would love to see them do this for all the big bands. Benante, Ian, Bello, Belladonna, and Denise, and the usual gang of thrashers. Graphic novel, 12-inch picture disc, and much more. So that's kind of exciting. Also, Body Count is the latest band to team up with Concept Cafe's Coffee. If you love Body Count, new album coming soon, and awesome coffee, you want to get hooked up by Concept Cafes. They have a Typo Negative coffee. They have a Cannibal Corpse coffee, a Ministry coffee, Dave Lombardo, Gary Holt, Ice Nine Kills, who we have some news coming up with soon. Pretty fun. This one surprised me. This was a surprising bit of news, man. What do you call it? You know, we're like I mentioned earlier, man, we're seeing a lot of these bands and labels kind of contract and like kind of not knowing what to do next. So Bury Tomorrow is this British progressive metal band. They announced they're starting their own record label called Death Records. They dropped a new single called Six, and they have new stuff coming out. So that's exciting. GNR has teamed up to launch a suicide prevention awareness campaign. I thought that was kind of fun. Their new tour is coming up soon. Blue Dot Fever is everywhere. We've been talking a lot about that. This is actually an old photo. I think Melissa Reese is not on tour with the band currently, and they have a new drummer since this photo. Isaac Carpenter has been in the band for like a year. Walls of Jericho, one of the coolest hardcore bands of all time, has a new single and announced a new album. I don't want to be me. I hear you, bro. I love it. I watched that video again recently with Dan Fogler, the comedian and actor. And he's in this current season of House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones spinoff show. Brat has announced a new album, Manslayer, and dropped the title track, a new EP. This is so fucking unbelievably sick. This they're not fucking around. I love Brat. They're funny and great. Megadeth, if you're a big Megadeth fan and a big shredder, and I love this photo by Rich Price Photography, formerly of Ghost Cult, they just teamed up with Hellfest in France. They played their headlined Hellfest in late June, and they have now released their entire full performance from that show. You can check it out now. And as we pass the anniversary of Back to the Beginning, I'm still waiting for the concert film to come out and maybe a vinyl or albums or DVD, Blu-ray, something. But Mark Weiss Guy Weiss, one of the most legendary photographers ever in concert photography, has his own new magazine called Rocked, and he's putting out a commemorative Back to the Beginning issue, book, and an exhibition in Asbury Park, New Jersey, where I used to go see shows. Brad Fry is a name you may not know. He is the founder of Desert Records and the guitarist of the band Red Mesa. He has a debut solo album coming out, Reverberations from the American Southwest. I'm super into it. I want to check this out. Ashen Horde is an extreme metal band from LA. They have new music videos out. You want to check those out. Valley of the Sun, killer psychedelic stoner rock band, has a new album out. The Blacklight Sessions. Look at this cover. This is insane. It's kind of like some warrior guy swinging an axe, but the axe blades have a pattern of like a moth or a butterfly, and they're fighting some demons. I thought this was hella cool. A lot of new music is getting announced for the fall. Hopefully I say this right. Bezvarjelsen is a band we interviewed a couple of years back. They are on Magnetic Eye Records, and they have a new album coming out soon. Very cool. Movements is a post-hardcore metalcore band from LA. They have new music and a new album coming soon. Very exciting. Massive Wagons dropped a new single, Story of Demise. It's kind of a British stoner rock band. Very fun. The Ocean has announced their new lineup, new album, and a new single and video. They really turned over the whole band almost. Two new vocalists, including the vocalist of the the Elizabeth Color Wheel band. I don't know if you know that band, but the great singer from that band, as well as a bunch of new musicians. So I'm super interested to see where they take the band next. I was a huge fan of this band for a long time, the Ocean Collective. Living up to their name, Napalm Death performed at NPR's Tiny Desk concert. Really hilarious. I actually have this Napalm Death shirt somewhere. Pretty fun. Autopsy is releasing their incredible debut album with a new remaster reissue on vinyl. The typical of the death metal albums of the mid 80s and early 90s. They were terrible. Hey, Dean Carr is here. I'd love to interview you sometime, Dean. DM me, or I'll DM you. Speaking of reissues and remasters, My Dying Bride is doing a retrospective vinyl box set anthology of somber reflections. Very cool. Stuck Mojo, one of my favorite bands from the late 90s, early 2000s, has teamed up with Brutal Planet Records and Boone's Overstock to do vinyl and CD reissues of Rising and Pigwalk, killer albums that used to be on Century Media Records back in the day. They were never on vinyl, as far as I know. Here's Ice Nine Kills coming in with the follow-up to their recent video, Play Dead. I think this is Dead at Dawn. Pretty cool. Ice Nine Kills, metalcore band. I remember when they were a terrible ska punk band. Volvadyna is the South African brutal technical death metal band. They've announced a new singer and new music coming this week. Very cool. Bayway, the New Jersey hardcore metal band, is dropped a new single called Run and Hide, bitch. Pretty funny. All right, now it's time for the Ass Clown of the Week. And your Ass Clown of the Week this week is, once again, nice. No one likes My Dying Bride. They don't like them enough, and now Aaron is not the singer anymore, which is crazy to me. But Ass Clown of the Week is Darren of System of a Down. System of a Down's on tour in Europe. They're about as big as they can be. They've been headlining stadiums. Acid Bath and Queens of the Stone Age are opening for them. It's unbelievably awesome to me. But so Darren has had like a 25, 26-year-old feud with Oasis. They don't like him. They don't like System of a Down. I think Liam Gallagher, who's a noted douchebag, said like, oh, I'm sad to be alive and know that this band exists and makes music. They're horrible. Darren and Serge have fought back and said stupid shit about them for years. That's fine. I think Oasis is an annoying band. I was kind of minorly pleased they didn't make the Rock Hall. They're great. They have great songs, but I just think like if you're 50-something years old and you're having like a spat where you're dissing each other in concerts, kind of fucking stupid. So he led 62,000 people at Wembley Stadium in England in a chant about like Oasis, is our asses or something. Really lame. Like even lamer than I just said it. What's up, Eric Vaughn? Thanks for coming by. All right. I just thought this was funny. Last week I had like a Craigslist ad. So here's a post I saw. It was like, went on a Tinder date last night. We both quickly realized we weren't each other's type. They're both shit talkers. You're right, Gabe. Both shit talkers. Correct. So I went on a Tinder date last night. We both quickly realized we weren't each other's type, so we just got drunk and agreed to be friends. Later, we got late night food. She absolutely demolished a barbecue sandwich in a way that made me realize two things. I was right about the friendship, and I would never survive a relationship with this woman. And then Pulled Pork Pamela writes, you have any friends that are real men? Ouch. I just thought that was funny. The internet provides all the time. All right, New Music Friday. Here is the new music out this week. I'm going to do a quick run through of the albums, band, album, label, and maybe genre for some of these. We do a preview every week of the new music coming out. So here we go. Try to keep it to original ones. Boundaries is out this week. Yearning the Unbeautiful on Sumerian Records. Carbon Tomb, Passage to a Neutron Star on Transcending Obscurity Records for some death metal. Code Red, Incendiary. I'm Incendiary. Re-release on Pride of Joy Records for some rock. Coffin Hunters, Cosmic Dawn on Bitter End Records. Eaten by Sharks, The Undertow of Hate on CDN Records for some death metal. Emptiness, Nowhere Speaks for some avant-garde black metal on Season of Mist. Ethereal Rot, self-titled, self-released for some death metal. Fuming Mouth, The Ringing Bell on Triple B Records. Killer. I think that's the first real death metal release on Triple B. They usually do hardcore. Her Head's on Fire, Am I Not Your Girl on Iodine Recordings. Imperium, Exodus Unknown on Heavy Metal Records. Left to Die, that's the Death Tribute. Initium Mortis on Relapse Records. A bunch of death demo covers by an all-star band. Loath's new album, A Stranger to You, on Sharp Tone Records for some post-hardcore and metalcore. The Menzingers, Everything I Ever Saw on Epitaph Records for some pop, so emo punk pop. Mother Tomb, Dying to Live, self-released, great band there for some doom metal. Motionless in White, new album, Decades on Roadrunner Records. Parker Barrow's new record, Hold the Mash, for some post-hardcore. Poison the Preacher, Things I Want EP on Seek and Strike Records. Psychroptic, mentioned that before, for some tech death. The Pulse of Annihilation on Metal Blade Records. One of my favorite bands of all time, Quicksand, Bring on the Psychics on Equal Vision Records. Tesla's new album, Homage, on Frontiers SRL for rock. Tomb Slab, self-titled on Road to Masochist record. Uada's Devoid of Light 10th Anniversary Edition on Eisenwald for some black metal. And Under Auburn Skies, Diminisher of Hope EP. That is all the New Music Friday stuff. Now we get to the show, the part of the show where it's the mailbag. So I'll just put myself back on screen for the rest of the show. And I'm going to unbox this thing from the Metalhead Box. The Metalhead Box did not pay me for this. I paid for this. I had a subscription to them for 3 or 4 months. Very good point there, Gabe. That's the thing I don't, just don't be an ass clown. I hear you, man. So the Metalhead Box, I've been getting these for a few months, and it's just a good way to get some underground stuff. It's a mystery. You don't know what it is, and they send you some stuff every month. It was about $40, $50 a month US for 2 vinyls, sometimes 2 to 4 vinyls every month in terms of 2 individual records minimum, but you might get like a double LP or a single. So here's what's in my final Metalhead box as a subscriber for now. I might come back to it later in the future. I got this very cool Judas Priest pin for Screaming for Vengeance. Screaming for Vengeance. Look at how cool that is. Somebody might be getting a gift of that from me. All right. I have a sticker here. I'm going to put it into the vinyl for safekeeping. All right. Oh, cool. Immolation. New Immolation record sticker. That's kind of fresh. Very nice. Fresh, man. Let's see what these 2 vinyl are. And again, they're usually underground records, but, stuff that might not automatically reach to buy, but I might listen to. Of course, it's got a completely unreadable title. All right, well, I have no idea who this is or what this is, but it did come with the vinyl and the Mylar, so that's cool on a black vinyl. Let's see what this is. All right. Nox Formula? Is that what it is? More Formula? Some black metal. I believe this is on Dibimore Morty Records. So it's kind of cool. Very cool album artwork, that's for sure. Oh, Nox Formular. Okay. There's some like devilish black metal or something. That's cool. I'll give that a listen. And then the other record, let's see what this one is. And that was a single LP. Beautifully packaged, I do have to say. Oh, this is fun. Anguish. Roar. Look at this cool artwork. This is some crazy fantasy realm shit here. This looks really cool. Is this on a, what kind of vinyl is this on? Probably another black vinyl. Yep. That's cool though. I mean, I have a ton of fun. Nice. Yeah, DistroKid buyout has mainly to do with AI music. Of course, man. Like, we're going to do a lot of stuff talking about AI in the future. I am fairly unhappy about the way it's going. But yeah, what a cool, yeah, Anguish Mountain is the name of the album. Look at, again, one more time for the artwork. Very cool stuff. So, you know, I get to discover new music. Maybe at some point I'll put together some reviews of this stuff. I think I'm going to, when the wedding kind of dies down in the next few weeks after we kind of settle in, I might go back to doing like a vinyl a day on my Instagram at Ghost Cult Keefe if you want to follow. But yeah, you know, I'm excited to sort of, I'm going to work with my fiance Melissa to recatalog my vinyl, update my Discogs, get everything kind of sorted. I'm always behind. There's so much to do and so much to hear and so much to read and watch, and I never feel like I have enough time in the day. But I'm really stoked. My wedding is Friday. In yikes! This time in 36 hours, I will almost be fully married. So that's wild. Thanks everybody for watching. We had a very manageable show at 48 minutes, 49 minutes today. Again, it's only midweek here or toward the middle of the week, but please don't drink and drive. Take care of yourselves. Stay as metal as humanly possible. Listen to some cool shit this weekend. Check out some new artists and keep it peeled to Ghost Cult. We will have more stuff for you soon. Much appreciated to everybody that tuned in tonight, Gabe and everybody else that watched. I'm just really, you know, appreciative you could spend your time anywhere and you spent it with us. And it looks like my outro video is not going to work anyway, so I'm not even going to bother. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great week. Peace. One of these turns it off. Peace.